Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Illinois Green Party series. Hello, I am your host, David Rich. We have Anna Schiefelbien on. She is the co-chair of the Illinois Green Party here, and she's going to give us an update and talk about some stuff going on in this very hot election cycle. What's happening?
Well, in this hot election cycle, we finally get the non-established parties and the independents actually get to start petitioning for the ballot. March 26th, that's today. We have 90 days until June 24th to collect signatures, a lot of signatures, and try to get on the ballot and gain ballot access in Illinois.
How many would how many for the presidential? Do you know?
The presidential is a minimum of 25,000, and the maximum is 50. So our goal is 50.
They put a maximum on it?
No, yeah, there is a maximum on it. Not every race has a maximum, but to my understanding that this one does.
I'd like to hear the logic behind that. That's interesting. I don't understand that. Okay. They don't want to make third parties look too good. Is that what it is?
I don't understand all the complexities. There's a lot, and our legal team does a good job of helping guide all of the information.
Cool. All right. So, okay, I mean, I had Chibu Ananye on last week, who is running for District 13, and she was wonderful, intelligent, articulate, extremely passionate about the whole thing, well connected. What else is going on? Who else we got?
Yeah. There's a few other local races going on, but right now all of our big push is on the statewide petition. So we have a process going on for petitioning events. We're using technology and software subscriptions. We use Basecamp, which is the organizing project software that's encrypted. So let me talk about a little bit about the Green Party, and then we'll get into some housekeeping for our friends out there to how they can help petition and get on the ballot. This is the time. Today is literally the first day in Illinois where it is the time. So when they say the time is now,
right?
It's literally for today. And throughout the next 90 days through June 24th. So this is how we can change in a nonviolent democratic manner, how we can change our government, our political system. We can do that. I do believe so much in the American people. I believe in the power of the people, and I believe with every vote matters. And every person who has 3 hours in 1 month or 30 hours in 1 week, where we can help push this along. So now that we're getting into the campaign talk, but I will say, we do have different roles for different people. We have phone bankers, we have the admin people, we have the canvassers. So we have a lot of opportunity out there. And I think if we all pull together, if we all are united, we can really stand and really show what the power of the people really is. I think that we are lacking the power of the people in this country. And I love working with the Illinois Green Party because we are a dedicated team to make sure that the power of the people, we can empower communities, we have the resources, how we can help with the power of the people, but we need everybody involved. We need to be unified because I really do believe that united we stand. And I do believe that divided we fall. And I believe that we're divided.
We are massively divided. It is palatable as you walk through the streets. You can cut the tension with a knife, as they say. I mean, it's nasty, and it gets worse and worse because all sorts of reasons why. But anyway, that's good. There's a lot more solidarity within the Green Party, consensus in the Green Party than I've seen in any other party personally. Only been a part of the Libertarian Party besides this one, and they were and I love them. Don't get me wrong, but they were everywhere. Anyway, so yes, it's very cool. Okay, we got comments going on over here on the right. I second that, says Green Party HQ. I don't know who's behind that, but okay. Thanks. Very cool. So, what else you got?
What else I got? So I wanted to just talk about the Green Party for a minute. Not a lot of people know about the Green Party. We're a minor political party. We are, however, we're a minor political party in the United States. But the Green Party is in 72 countries.
72 countries.
72.
Ken Mandel from California is the guy behind the Green Party HQ. Hey, Ken. Yeah, no, that's very cool. Not a lot of people know that, and they're very strong in a lot of other countries. Yeah, less strong here, but we're growing and we're fighting. We're getting there.
Yeah, absolutely. Which I believe, like for our volunteers and our members, it's such a great opportunity. You have local level, you have regional level, you have state level, you have national level. We're working on regional levels in the national level, and then you have international. So you can really do. Somebody can really just, hey, I'm in international relations, or hey, I'm want to do this. You don't have to be here for a certain amount of time. There's no pecking order. You want, like David. David came in. I want to do a podcast. Great. How long has it been now? 4 years?
I think it's been over 3 for sure.
It's been over 3. I think it's been almost 4.
Okay, so, it might be.
Yeah, I think
a lot of guests. It's been a lot of fun. I've had a great time.
No, I think you're right though. I think it has been 3. I think next year will be 4.
I think it was January, February-ish when I started over 3 years ago. So,
yeah, over 3 years we can agree on. Yeah. So it really is. I mean, to me, and I know that you've kind of had like similar feelings, like when you found the Green Party and you got involved and you were engaged. Like I felt I was at home. I finally found my
very comfortable home. Yeah, which is a very cool thing. Okay, so Ken, this is the podcast we're referring to. Not everybody uses the word podcast to describe video things. I think that some people do, so I don't know what else to call it, so I just say podcast. So that's usually podcast refers to like merely audible, but I think it's up and coming that definition is changing to include video. So anyway, yeah, no, I mean it's just like I said before, when I first saw. I was discontented. It's in the Libertarian Party, and I was looking for a place to go. And I'm like, oh, the Green Party, I remember them. And I, certified in horticulture, and I'm very big into that, gardening, organic, and permaculture, and the environment, and that sort of thing. And I looked at the 10 party platforms, and it was just like a checklist. I'm like, I can't find anything I disagree with. This is great. So joined, met Anna early on, and we went. Here we are. Almost, it'll be 4 years in the party come the election. November.
Okay.
That's for sure. But then so a few months after that, we started the show. Yeah. It was inspired by Tennille, actually. Tennille Jackson, who's also awesome. She was doing something. I remember I just sort of like turned to Anna because I've never actually even met in person. But turned to Anna, I'm like, well, the Green Party should do something like that. Here we are.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I love the team that we have, and I know that they are dedicated to bringing W's in 2024. Let's step back and let me just talk about those 10 key values. I'm just going to state them, and then that way a lot of people can hear this and refer back to it if they need to. So the 10 key values of the Green Party is, number 1, ecological wisdom. Number 2, social justice. Number 3, grassroots democracy. Number 4, nonviolence. Number 5, decentralization. Number 6, community-based economics.
Awesome.
Number 7, feminism. Number 8, respect for diversity. Number 9, personal and global responsibility. And
Very
10,
important.
Future focus.
Awesome. See, good stuff there.
Yeah. It's out there, and I love how these are very reasonable. They're very environment. Some of them are environment related and interdependent with each other and with humans and our environment and our living, our earth and the animals. It's all interdependent, and so I love how these key values are just togetherness.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, there's definitely a theme going through them, which is very cool. And so very cool. All right. And I think also, like, as far as I understand it, definitely out of let's say the top 5 political parties, Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Green Party, and say Constitution Party. As far as I know, we're the only one with actual platform positions like that. laid out like that. Like we actually have a set of 10 principles that guide our behavior and our decision making within the Green Party, which is a very cool thing to have. And there's diversity of interpretation, but not anything like blatantly contradictory or volatile to one another, which is cool too. So yeah, no, it's very cool to be a part of a organization that has that sort of underpinning. I think it's very cool.
I like how it's united for the earth and for the environment. I mean, that's green, right? That's the Green Party. It's the the environment is core. It's our number one goal, and unfortunately, these days we have to think about clean water, clean air, our land, our soil. So these are, I believe, with these values and the dedicated Green Party team we have, we really can unite behind the Greens, and we can really can do that in the in an environmental perspective. And I know there are some people out there that sorry, David, but I wanted to say that I know that there are some people out there who don't believe in climate change. Even here in
Donald
Chicago,
Trump's one of them. That's what's so scary.
Who?
Donald Trump is one of them. That's one of the things that's so scary about him.
And self-regulation is just not going to work with the environment. So we really need, I think this is where the really the power of the people can really unite behind is an environmental value. Air and water are non-negotiable. It doesn't, any third grader
essential there.
Yeah, any third grader I think can tell you. Yeah,
and I've talked to a bunch of people, even in amongst Democratic and Republican Party, even people that are just kind of typical, not the politician people, but the people. They all believe that something's wrong and something needs to happen. And I noticed that parents really are bothered by it because it affects their children and their children's children, and I think that's where the emphasis should be, because you realize this is what we're actually doing to literally your future generations. That's exactly what's happening. We might, in our generation here, we might skate by with just a little slap on the wrist from Mother Nature. I don't know. Well, it could be worse. I'm not sure. But definitely the generation after, it's not good. It's not good at all. So and there's still time to do something about it, and that's where the Green Party comes in, and it's for sure.
Right. And with the Green Party, if we were elected and if the president was elected, we would be with the power of the people. So to me, the Green Party is also part of the peace movement. We use consensus, which came from the radical feminists. So we use that in as our decision making process. So I do believe the Green Party is part of the peace movement. And if remember as a young activist, there was a saying that says, if you're not mad, you're not looking. Did you ever hear that one?
No, but it makes a hell of a lot of sense to me. I've said similar things, and remember when I was taking ethics class, and I remember talking to a fellow student, you ever notice that everything you apply this stuff and everything is wrong, the whole world's just wrong. So something similar to that. That's not exactly true, of course not. Life is beautiful, but wait, could you back up a little bit? What came from the radical feminists? That I haven't heard this before.
Consensus.
Radical feminists made up consensus?
I think it actually came from some Spanish anarchists, is what I remember from my history.
You mean
classes.
mutual aidists? I'm not sure. Okay, go ahead.
We can research this a little bit more.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, we can research this a little bit more. But
okay, that's very interesting. Lear Keith, who I've had on here a multitude of times from the Deep Green Resistance, that whole organization is also environmental / radical feminist. So I'll just ask her. Can Mandel, we need to get back to that core belief. Yes, and war is the biggest polluter and destroyer of the planet. Yes, war, both active and passive. The United States military is the number one polluting singular entity, if you will, in the entire planet. And it beats entire nations, and dozens of them. It's just so stupid. And absolutely, and they're not going to stop. As long as they keep getting their money and their power. Anyway, go ahead.
So speaking of war and the defense, we can talk about the defense budget, which is a reduction of the defense budget is something that the Green Party is looking into, like divesting from war and investing in people. We really need, we spend, I believe it was over $890 billion with a B, just to make sure that that's clear. It was, we didn't really take any, I think as a people collectively, it was just in the news, like it wasn't anything major. I think these shutdowns and some other items got more media coverage than that did. So, and it's big, and we spend more than the next 9 countries combined. I think China was at 77 billion, and that was the next highest one. So we are in over 700 bases. I don't believe that there is a need for that. I believe that we can bring our troops home.
Reduce the size of our soldiers, our military, so that we have less people that are trained to kill and die for stupid stuff. So yeah, no, that's very cool. I really like that part of it too. Like, because especially think about it now, it's such a intense part of this whole election cycle is what's going on in Israel, Gaza, Ukraine, and Russia. And people have definitely with the whole Israeli Gaza thing. Like, I mean, everybody's had it with that. That's just I mean, the whole world's protesting. It's like George Floyd thing, but like times 20. Like, and they're still doing it. They're shutting down bridges and intersections and buildings, and like all sorts of things are happening across the globe. Yeah, here in the States, we just keep funding them. We're the #1 supplier of Israel military. And just today, our Secretary of Defense said that there's too many dead civilians and not enough aid going in. We'll see how that goes with Netanyahu, because he usually just kind of brushes that stuff off and just continues to go nutso. So I'm glad that we have a party that is just on principle, like opposed to that. And I know I've heard Jill Stein and other people talk about what they would do if they became president, how to stop it. So that's very cool.
So if we divest in war and we reduce the pollution, we invest in people. So to me, it's something, again, that the people can unite and say, hey, we want to invest in us. And we need to invest in our communities, in our healthcare, in ourselves. We need some self-care.
Yes.
Everybody's always talking about self-care. Well, let's get the power of the people some self-care.
Exactly. No, exactly. Wouldn't that be cool? Ken Mandel also said we are driving our young men to suicide. Oh yeah, the suicide rate amongst former military, current military, even like police. Like, I mean, it was just this whole notion of like the people that we give guns to in this country, whether it be for overseas stuff or for domestic stuff. There's just a serious problem there systemically going on. I mean, yeah, the suicide rate in all those fronts are high, and it's gross.
I always felt so bad for our veterans. Once I was working with the Veterans for Peace a while ago, when I was in my younger years, and I really love that group, and I just really felt bad for them. They get these veterans benefits cut. The homeless, the top homeless occupation. So the occupation for the homeless people, the top one was a veteran. I feel bad. And they fought for us.
They come back up. Yeah, exactly. They fought for us. They did an admirable thing. And they come back and they're just disregarded and they're mentally ill because you get trained to kill and die, and it's going to probably take a toll on you. Ken Mandel is also saying he's a Gold Star dad, and he knows, and I didn't know that, and I'm sorry to hear that. That's terrible. So okay, yeah, mental health is a huge issue, and it's a predominant, majorly in the veterans and the homeless population for sure.
Right, and our veterans fought for us, and I will help fight for our veterans.
That's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're talking about uniting as the power of the people behind environment, behind peace, collective peace. And we're also talking about ballot access, about being able to give the voters more options on the ballot. So if you're encountered by a Green Party volunteer and they ask you to sign a petition, it's just to get them on for ballot access. It's just to get them on the ballot.
Yeah, you're not voting for them, just so you know. Like, yeah, because I did that with the other dudes, and I had to explain very, when they kind of look at you funny, like it's not a vote. You're just getting me my name on the ballot. You can totally vote against me if you want to.
Yeah.
And a lot of people appreciated that. They're like, yeah, of course, because they don't realize that, like, how we're just utterly the sabotage committed by the duopoly against third party ballot access. It's so just like it's so ridiculous. It's hysterical. Like, it's so, oh, go ahead.
Right. It's just to give the voters more options.
Right.
Absolutely. I sometimes say it twice when I'm canvassing because I think the first time, I think the people need to be reassured, like, okay, it's just to get the people on the ballot. Okay. So absolutely. We like democracy, but it is a long and hard process. 50,000 in 90 days. It's a tall tale. Green Party has done it before. We'll do it again. We are one of the worst though in the whole country. New York is worse than us. They just changed theirs. I think it's 42 days to get 45,000 or 45,000 to get 42 days, something like that. They had just changed it again. So it's, just moving the goalpost like they did with Ralph Nader in the presidential debates to get 5. Okay. Oh, okay. Get 10. Oh, okay. It's just like, we need a win. We need a W. And it's not just the Green Party, it's the power of the people. And to me, the Green Party is just a vehicle, a way we can, right now, in this point in time, we are seeking ballot access in 50 states. Like, we need to be, to me, if we keep on pulling the same lever, we're just going to get the same results.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go out on a limb here, but to me, my personal opinion, like, Obama didn't change much. He didn't change things.
Obamacare is pretty cool, but that's about it.
Obamacare, but look at what Obamacare, I'm a tax, I prepare taxes. So Obamacare, I had to do the premium tax credit. I had to tell people, yes, you have to pay money for an item you couldn't afford and for something you didn't receive.
Yeah, no. So yeah,
that's
no,
what Obamacare did.
It's a far cry from the way it should be, was like just sort of socialized medicine, healthcare for sure. And I guess at the end of the day, it sort of was an insurance mandate. So yeah, it wasn't all that great. So yeah, okay. So yeah,
yeah, but putting it on the backs of people who couldn't afford something, had to pay for it, and couldn't receive it. To me, it was not the right thing to do. These people could not afford it to begin with.
I don't know why this country is so terrified. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was saying, so that was the one thing that Obama did. And so we have Biden in office now. So why would we expect that? Nothing really changed with Obama. Why would we expect things to change with Biden?
Yeah, what's so great? Like, I mean, this talk from Biden about inflation is not really. There are certain sectors where inflation has plateaued, but not like the main ones. Gas just went up like almost $1 a gallon in my area, like over the last 3 weeks. I mean, it's crazy. And grocery store prices are still not that low. So the two areas that affect us most greatly, the inflation's still quite rampant. But he's probably counting silicon chips or something like that for computers or something. And a lot of those numbers are so just twisted with nonsense. So you can really be careful how people cast numbers. They can mean a lot of different things. So anyway.
Absolutely. So to me, for what we need to do right now, and just protect our environment. Sometimes when I'm canvassing, I'm like, hey, we need to make sure there's clean water and clean air. Everything
Yeah.
else, you know, it's the third. Everything else is kind of lumped together after that.
Right. Yeah. No clean environment. Nothing else really matters. It's, you know, I mean, none of the seriously. You're not going to get localized economics, community economics, if you know the world is burning. If you know if you can't breathe, you know. So yeah, exactly, for sure. So, and Ken is saying we need money. Yes, that is true. We need money.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there a way for people to donate?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. To donate to the Greens?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like just randomly. Like that's.
yeah.
I feel like donating. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's on everybody.
What would that be?
It's on everybody's website. So.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Absolutely. We are right now working on the petitioning season. We have lots of events going on. Lots of things are happening in Chicago and Illinois, and specifically in Chicago and actually parts of Wisconsin. There is pockets of ceasefire now and pro-peace events. So those
Yeah.
are listed on the Illinois Green Party website. We
Cool.
have the International Uranium Film Festival that's kicking off. So that is
Uranium.
listed. Uranium, yes.
So is it about nuclear war and stuff?
I believe it's about. I believe it's more about nuclear power.
Oh, okay.
But I think
Oh,
it
nuclear.
also those two issues are usually combined. Yeah, so that is happening as well. That's hosted by the Nuclear Energy Information Service that we love. So check that out. That's also on the website. With regards to the ballot access, we do have meetings every week. We have the weekly lineup up there. We have Monday at 3 to 4, Wednesdays at 11 to 12 for phone bankings. We have 2 phone banking sessions each week. And then we have a volunteer meeting Thursdays at 8 p.m. online. And then we have Jill Stein does the ballot access meeting Mondays at 6 p.m. So we are
Very cool. Wow.
very, very busy here in Illinois.
Yeah.
I love it. This is how I was
Yeah.
when I
No,
was
that's great.
first an activist. There's so much stuff going on. It's like I didn't even know like what meeting to go to because everything was happening all at the same time. And so I love having a full calendar. I love keeping our members, our volunteers, and the general people just informed and busy. There's the calendar. Please feel free to go to the website ilgp.org. Go to events, check it out. This is an exciting time for us as we launch into the petition season and into the general election. We have some great candidates coming up. So I'm really, really happy with the progress that we're making.
That's great. That's all very encouraging and very inspiring to know that we're out there doing so much stuff. What do you think the general feeling is about Jill Stein? It seems to me like, you know, I mean, I don't have my finger on the pulse like you do, but it seems like it's pretty positive. I saw her numbers, and they were pretty high amongst the Green Party people.
Yeah, I think Jill Stein, I think she's a viable candidate. I think she's going to do well. And again, she can be a uniter. Another thing I love about the Green Party is when we have our 10 key values, like as such, interdependent with the environment, the community, with future focus, it really leaves a lot of room for diversity. It leaves a lot of room for diversity in values, for personal values.
Mm-hmm.
We have people with conservative values. We have people with progressive and liberal values. We have people who are very religious based, people who are not religious based at all. So, because we believe in freedom of religion. So it really is just a great place for that's welcoming to all. We're not just one way or the other. We're kind of, as long as you are in the 10 key values, the value of freedom and civil liberty and individual rights, it's there.
Yep. No, it's a pretty impressive list for sure. There's no doubt. Yeah, I mean, self responsibility, self and global responsibility. It's nice that they're both together and it's not just one or the other. It's very cool. And decentralization. I remember, I think I told you before that when I first went down the list, I'm like, so like it was so. I was like, oh, I don't. Decentralization has been very important to me for a long time. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. So okay, cool. Sorry.
Yeah, and I'll have other people tell me that the 10 key values are just amazing, and that's what gets them in the door, kind of. And it's just like, it's nice. It's nice to feel like you matter. It's nice to feel like your ideology, your beliefs, like it is part of a community, and that community is doing so more than what the individual person can do. Politics is not a game of one. So it's not a team of one.
No, I don't think anything in life is a game of one. Maybe sleeping.
Solitaire.
Solitaire. Well, somebody had to make the deck of cards. So
there you go.
Yeah, that's it. That's actually kind of the point. It's like when you think about, like, look at funny. Yeah, well, but I mean, you think about, like, you look at something, something simple, and you just kind of like realize how many people were involved in getting this to me, and how, and I think it's cool to kind of be grateful for that, and to like feel like how interconnected everything is, like just that way, like how many people, like, this came from a tree, first of all, and then there's all sorts of stuff that went on after. I probably go on a very long list of, positions that provided this card in front of my face right now. So yeah, no, it's very cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So we went over to go check out the website. I do want to do an update on some housekeeping stuff. With Basecamp, if you are invited to Basecamp, the first thing that you should do is turn off your email notifications. There is a welcome letter in each of the regional hubs. So go ahead, take a look at that. There's a link there. So when you do sign up in Basecamp, the first thing is to turn off your email notifications, because we are busy and we do not want to flood up anybody's emails. It is awesome on the app. It's the desktop. It works. Some apps I think that I can only do some things with, but this app, the Basecamp app, is just amazing. It can do I think
a lot you can do.
It has so much functionality.
Yeah, no, there's a lot going on. So if you don't want like all the, because like there's like member hub sections, campfires, like where the members are like chatting, say, right? Okay, about stuff not necessarily like higher up administrative, formal stuff, that kind of thing. And then there's areas for that too. So if you go in there, you would register on Basecamp, and you would leave your email on there, you're gonna get everything. And it's gonna, you may or may not like that. So if you want to, am I saying this right? You go on there, you shut off your email notification, otherwise you're gonna be bombarded. There was a guy the other day, he's like, how do I get off this thing? Just because we were just like back, I wasn't doing it, but like you guys were back and forth about whatever. There's
the link. Please, everybody. So I wanted to make special note for anybody who's listening, because there are a lot of people in Basecamp now. And we like to work with Basecamp, and so we appreciate everybody's patience with learning how to turn off your email notifications.
If you don't want to, like I like being privy to all the stuff. Whether if I do something like doesn't really fall on my radar for whatever reason, I'm like, oh, let's move along. And not a big deal, but at least I want the heads up of what's going on first. So I want to be on there. But if you don't want to, that's also okay. Okay.
Absolutely. We encourage people to come on, be part of the group. And I'm really excited about this petition season. I really feel like the public is more welcoming to us, and the public is more willing to listen to the Green Party. They're more willing to listen about the environment and listen to how the green politics can really be part of the government.
Yes, no, absolutely. And it's great if you ever, and actually, like, being consistent with our 10-party platforms, that, and if you ever thought about getting into politics, a third party is a nice way to do it, because you're not going to get lost in the shuffle like you would in the monstrously sized duopolies that exist, and you have to pretty much be a bajillionaire to be even noticed in those parties. Yeah, no, it's a good place to come and kind of plant your political roots if you'd like to grow green. So yeah.
Absolutely. And then we do have more information for potential candidates on the website. Look up on the website. I think there's get involved, run for office. There's chapter resources. There's candidate resources. So please, by all means, go to the website. If you have any questions, you can always email me. I'm at chair@ilgp.org. I love how the personal responsibility value is there as well. That one really strikes to me, I think, more than anything else. And I think that's because I always felt a sense of personal responsibility in our government. I was 12 when I first realized that, hey, maybe the adults are not doing everything that they should be doing to protect our rights, to protect our power, and to protect our environment. And then as I got older and became an adult, I realized that my 12-year-old self was correct. And that's unfortunate. And I didn't want to be an adult who's not trying their very best to make things happen, to make a difference, to to try to unite people around the environment. This is really a critical time where we have to stop playing games. We have to really stand behind our Green Party candidates and be united for the power of the people.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's very well said. And it is, the window is closing, folks, on our opportunity to do something about it, with any sort of like hopes for long-term effects. That's not a joke. I mean, 2030 is, less than 7 years away, and like that's like the first like deadline for a certain amount to reduce by what, 50% or something. And I don't believe we're on track for that. So and it's unfortunate that, again, like one of our platform positions is, decentralization. The other one, community-based economics, keeping things local. It's unfortunate that we have that so much of our political power for local communities that resides in the hands of greater, authorities, put in air quotes, because they're not doing. You get to the national level like that, and like you said before, it's like all about the military and stuff like that, and the local places need permission in a sense from a lot of higher up authority structures to do certain things in their own community. Otherwise, I think a lot of communities would just go ahead and do that. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and switch to green, but we need to redo our plumbing. We need to redo the electric wires. We need solar panels on everything. And this all ties into bureaucratic nonsense with this hierarchy of power in this country. Again, third parties is a way to get the name out there and the message out there, our mission statement about how we want to fix things. Because I guess my initial point was that through politics you can make that happen, and it's difficult to do outside of that. I mean, it can happen. There's definitely business innovations and local ways. But getting it through politics, like the Delaware River Keepers and the constitutional amendments, green amendments for the generation, stuff like that. You get this codified into law, or at least political policy like that, and things will change. Because they have to. Politics is a very strong force in this country.
Yeah, absolutely. And it all stems from the people, and all stems from the voters. We got this opportunity to make a decision. We have the ability to make a choice. We know that there's countries out there that don't have this power, this privilege, this
Yeah.
right. Our rights. It's not just a privilege; it's also a right, and we need to take advantage of it. Where a wasted vote, a spoil effect. This is what we're striving for: democracy, and democracy is a long and hard process. And the Green Party has been through a lot in the last how many decades have they been around? Since the 70s. So it's really time for the American people to get behind the Green Party candidate and unite together. And so we can stand and we can try to do something for the environment. We can turn this ship around and head it towards the right direction and really try to protect this land for our future generations.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're right. Okay, you can't emphasize enough like how urgent the timing is. And I know that people are afraid right now because Trump's such a lunatic. And they think that the only way to avoid a lot of talk about strategic voting and not voting your conscience and stuff like that, just to keep Trump out like the last time. I see a lot of progressive radio people. I think I told you Tom Hartman and Stephanie Miller, who are otherwise cool, but they just keep slamming on third parties. Thinking that they keep call us spoilers. Don't believe that hype, by the way, about third parties candidates being spoilers. Statistically we're not even spoilers. They've done exit polling, and the people who voted for third party candidates, the vast majority of them said they wouldn't have even voted if it hadn't been that there was a third party candidate in there. So the people in the duopoly can't count it against us or against any of the other party. This whole notion that all Greens would automatically vote Democrat is false. There's no reason to believe that.
No,
and
they're
so yeah, so don't
party.
the more so than the Republicans. And I don't think people realize that. So yeah, the Democrats are not very nice people, folks. So yeah, so don't believe that. That's propaganda nonsense. Right.
What we can believe in is the power of the people, and it's not going to be found in a corporate party. It's not going to be found in a corporate war party. They can,
by definition,
try all that they want. It's just inherently, it's just in their nature not to have the power of the people. And that's another reason why I just love the Green Party, is that we are really, truly trying to empower communities and give voter options and really stand true to our values and our roots with that.
Yeah. And again, the ballot access obstacle is a high one for us to hurdle. So Ken is saying we need a greener Bernie. Well, yeah, that's for sure. He owns 3 houses, Bernie Sanders. You know that? Did you know that, Anna?
You're kind of breaking out and was frozen a little bit.
Did you know that Bernie Sanders owns 3 houses?
Oh, I mean, it doesn't matter to me. He can sit on the folding chair and with his handmade mittens. That's fine. I want to focus on what we can do. What we can do is stand behind the Green Party for the environment. We can say we're going to take the power back. And what we can do is with our voting rights, we can do that. We don't have to waste any time. We don't have to bow down to people. We really can really take it upon ourselves to make sure this is the country that we want, the land that we want, and that we get what we want as a people. Like, for example, healthcare for all. It's a very centrist policy. What is it? 67% of the people want it. Then how come 67% of the representatives aren't voting for it?
Well, that's probably lobbyists and stupid stuff. Did you just type all this in at the bottom?
Did I what?
Type this all in at the bottom.
I did not just type it all in now. It was already there.
I didn't put that there.
I switched it.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. So I'm like, what just happened? Okay.
This is somebody else has access to it on the show.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I didn't see your hands doing anything. So I thought maybe it was some cool little spirit thing. So anyway, But yeah. So I mean, yeah, I don't. Again, I say this every time the healthcare comes up. Like, why would you not want universal healthcare? Like, I don't understand why you would be opposed to it. It's ridiculous. Some people think that, like, some economists think it would be inefficient, but there's so many different models to like look at for healthcare for all. Like, socialism does not necessarily mean government controlling all markets. It does. That's like one kind. There are so many different kinds of socialist schools of thought. Like, for example, like concerning healthcare, like in Norway, it's all privatized. But if you open up a health anything, it has to be nonprofit. It has to be. So that's one way of keeping the money in there and keeping costs down for everybody. In Canada ranks as #1 healthcare system in the world a lot by the WHO, like almost every year for the last several years that I've looked at it. And basically what they do is they just got rid of insurance companies, and the government is basically the centralized insurance company. So you pay through your taxes, whether income tax or otherwise, I don't know, to the government. And when a doctor goes to bill somebody, they bill the government and the government pays it. It's simple, it's efficient, it's fair, everybody has access. And I like to emphasize the word efficient. It's very, very cool, and everything else is privatized, or at least for the most part privatized. So, like, it doesn't necessarily, people get freaked out in this country about the word socialism because the right wing is just taking it, like, just poured mud all over it. It's not what, they think socialism means like Stalin and gulags and stuff. And it doesn't mean that at all, not even close. Very good.
It's our roads, our libraries, like these are all, you pull your money together and get these resources. So I like my libraries.
I love libraries.
Absolutely. Yeah, and like the Green Party, we are for public utilities in the sense of public, not private utilities, which is what we have now. We have private utilities. A lot of people think it's public utilities, but we have ComEd owns a large portion of our energy power here. So we have to also think about having our energy in the public domain, where it's more employee owned than it is privately owned. So I would love to see the energy source in the hands of the public and not of the private industry. That is something that I think that the Green Party can help accomplish. That's one of our goals is to do that, and not just take it away from these companies that might seem like a monopoly, and give it to the hands of the people. And I know that might sound simplistic, or it might sound not very doable, but these are concrete plans that are on the Green Party website. So it's very much doable, and I'm excited for some W's to come in 2024 for the Green Party, so we can help connect the power of the people with the government. I know we have some people in office, and they're doing great things. We have seen great things from some Green Party candidates, and so I'm excited to see what more of us can do.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's great. Absolutely. Real quick, there's a chat going on amongst people in the comment section. The hunting thing may be a hard sell. I don't see why the hunting thing would be a hard sell, Ken. But okay. Conservationists, which the hunter, I mean, hunters, fishermen and stuff, the conservationists are usually politically very right, but they're very big into protecting the environment. Conservation means to keep it as it is, because they want to keep hunting and fishing. I mean, even if it's self-serving, they're still like trying to do what's right, which is very cool too. So yeah, so like we need to kind of get rid of this whole left-right thing, because that doesn't really make any sense anymore. So, but yeah. And climate change and global warming is not 30 years ago. It's not a essay fad. In fact, it's increasing and it's getting worse all the time. Anyway, go ahead. Right, but PETA. Well, okay. I mean, if people are PETA members in the party, then they can do that. I mean, that's fine. The Green Party, as as any sort of national platform, is not vegetarian or vegan. Right? I mean, there's no like prohibition to eating meat, and I know there's been debates about that too. I mean, A lot of animals die by agriculture. So when you get your broccoli and asparagus on your plate, ask yourself how many animals died to get those things there. So anyway, um, go ahead, go ahead. Before
Yeah,
I start
well,
getting
we
into
do
it.
have, we do have an animal rights group.
Yeah,
And
animal rights is
I
a
said,
fabulous thing.
this is also, the 10 key values, what's within those 10 key values. It has a lot of leeway for these differing values. Like I eat meat in our house, I'm trying to eat more plant-based items and be a cycle breaker, and not refer to meat all the, for meals for my family. But when I do, we try not to choose beef because beef is more harmful than other animal meats. And so I understand, when you have a family, and you grew up in a certain way, that it's so easy to fall back on, just to fall back on it. But that's where we get to learn, where we get to grow, and where we really get to be better humans and teach the next generation, hey, we can have cauliflower pizza, or hey, we can use these other alternatives. But the bigger picture is to have everybody united, to have people in the farming and the hunters and the city folks. Like we all need to unite and get out of, get it, not just vote to not get somebody in, but let's vote to get a good person in. Let's vote to get a good candidate in. Let's do our job to make sure that the American policies, foreign policies, domestic policies, that we get on the right track. I believe that we are not on the right track in regards to war, in regards to our people suffering. So I really truly believe that this is such a precious moment in time, and we can't just sit back, and we can't just let pull the same lever. I just feel it is not the time to just continue going down the same beaten path.
And I think actually this is a good. I think the iron is hot and it's time to strike, because I think that this is, again, going back. I'm kind of contradicting myself a little bit. The tension that people are feeling about the Biden Trump thing. It's still the majority of people don't want a Biden Trump rematch. They don't want that. And what's frustrating too, and just I'd like to point this out to people, is that the whole, one person will not vote third party because they're afraid not enough other people will. But each one of those other people are doing it not doing it for the exact same reason. So like, if you just one time, just give us one election, vote your conscience, not strategically, vote Green Party, or no, just vote third party, preferably Green, and you're going to see changes happen. You will see it happen. I guarantee it. Because the names are on the ballot, folks. It's not like they're not there. So it's like, people, I didn't have a choice. You very much did have a choice. You very much did. Instead of going to 1, 2, go down to number 3, see what name is there. Go down to number 4, see what name is, that kind of thing. Like, instead of just, like, oh, I have to vote, duopoly because no third party will win. Why? Well, because I just talked myself out of it. That's exactly why. So just don't talk yourself out of it. Right?
Yeah, I don't know if you had this experience, but I did, when people were wearing their mask or not wearing their mask. And I noticed that if somebody took off their mask, everybody else kind of felt comfortable taking off their mask. But if somebody put on their mask, they felt pressured to put on their mask. And so we just have to, for ourselves, like our rights, like you have the right to wear the mask or not wear the mask, and do what you believe is right for yourself. Like, don't feel like you have to do it for your neighbor, your friend, or your family. Like, do it, like, again, that's self-care. Like, do it for yourself, because you're the only one who's going to be looking in the mirror at the end of the day. So
that's exactly right. At the end of, yeah. I mean, I remember having a discussion with a friend of mine, and he's a Democrat. He thinks the vote in third party is a wasted vote. That charming little phrase. And I said, at the end of the day, dude, I vote my conscience, not yours. I'm like, why is it a wasted vote? Because I don't vote for your preferred candidate. Are you kidding me? I mean, do you hear the arrogance in that? It's just ridiculous.
We do have a comment here. We are not just liberal, and I
Okay,
actually,
this guy's trolling.
well, I know everybody is welcomed, but
Okay.
I have conservative values. I believe that there should be no unwanted babies. I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe in term limits. These are not the liberal
Right.
policies. These are conservative policies. So again, we're not just, if you have an idea in your about what the Green Party is, that might be based on something, your own unique experiences. But we are still strong with the environment. We are still strong with being interdependent with our surroundings, with other people, and we are still strong with the power of the people. So I wouldn't just dismay the Green Party based on previous beliefs. I would do your research. This is another election coming up. This is another opportunity the people have to bring the power back. So I wouldn't just be so quick to dismay a third political party in this country, because they're small. I would want to band with them if they had our values. If they were so strong about the environment, they were so strong about the power of the people, and they were so strong about having a place where diverse values and ideologies and beliefs can happen. So don't be so quick to dismay. Do your research.
Yeah, I mean, there are anarchists, including myself, in the Green Party, and it doesn't get a much more smaller government than that. So, yeah, there's again the right wing, left wing. Those definitions are so diluted with multiple uses that it's impossible to identify it categorically anymore. So yeah, very cool.
Yeah, we see more
And
libertarians coming in.
more
So
libertarians, yeah, yeah, yeah.
right, absolutely,
And we have people
absolutely.
here trying to get a Liberty caucus going.
Hmm.
I probably should reach out to that gentleman again and have him back on.
Yeah.
There's the identity on the national level, identifying the party as a libertarian socialist party, which is like just the best of both. Very cool. So yeah, no, very cool. All right, we got just a couple minutes left here. Anything you want to wrap it up with?
Yeah, I just want to say, if anybody's missed it throughout the podcast, check out our events, ilgp.org. There's the events. We have petitioning. We're trying our best to get on the ballot, to give the voters more options. This is very much the time and very much the place to get behind a party that's going to stand for the power of the people, that's going to stand for the environment, that's going to have air and water as non-negotiable items. We have to make sure that we can survive.
Yeah,
I hate to say that, that we're at that moment in time, but we are. I hate to think that in the chapters of the history books, that 2024 is not the time to shine, because we need 2024 to be the time to shine.
right.
We need to make sure that we have the power and we get our centrist policies through.
Absolutely. Well said. Okay, cool. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for commenting on the right here. Appreciate the conversation. This is the Illinois Green Party, and this is your Illinois Green Party co-chair. Chaz is saying, "Don't fret, I ain't voting for Republicans." I just wish there was a part to it's important. Oh, I hear you.
Well,
So
try the Greens.
yeah, keep that with the
Get on
Greens, my
base
friend.
camp.
Yeah, get on base camps, go check it out. Talk to people, see what they believe. Seriously, because I think you'll find a greater multitude of beliefs than you suspect. Even with consensus, it's kind of unity, diversity within unity. How's that? E pluribus unum, as it says on the dollar bill, and in many we are one. Very cool. Okay, Anna, thanks for coming on, co-chair of Illinois Green Party, and a very busy person amongst the Green Party people. She is my go-to for everything, so I always appreciate that. Thank you. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in to the Illinois Green Party series. I'm your host, David Rich. Next time, be good, be green. Wait, hold on. Nice to meet you.